There is a moment in every man's journey where the truth becomes impossible to ignore. You realize that the world is not a playground. It is a testing ground. Respect is not something people give you because they are nice. You are not owed a single ounce of dignity by anyone you meet. People are watching you right now, measuring your strength and waiting for a crack. They want to see exactly how much they can take before you break. Today, that game stops forever. What you are about to hear is not for the person looking for a feel-good quote. This is a blueprint forged in the sharpest strategies of dark psychology. Niccolò Machiavelli understood the world better than most modern gurus ever will. He knew that power isn't about being the biggest person in the room. It is about being the most strategic and the most controlled. We are going to go over 7 ways to handle those who dare to cross your line. 7 methods that will turn you from a target into someone who is truly untouchable. By the end of this, the man you were 10 minutes ago will be gone. You will no longer be someone who asks for respect or begs for attention. You will be the person who commands it just by standing in the room. Listen closely, because your new life starts the second you understand this. The first weapon you must master costs you nothing, but it destroys your enemies. It is the art of total, crushing silence. When someone disrespects you, your first instinct is to scream and fight back. This is a trap, and you are falling right into it. They want your energy, your anger, and your immediate reaction. The moment you lose your cool, you have proven they have power over you. You have handed them the victory on a silver platter without a fight. Machiavelli knew that a leader who reacts to every small insult is a leader who will fail. True power is the ability to respond to an insult with nothing but a cold stare. This is not the silence of a man who is afraid or doesn't know what to say. This is the silence of a predator watching their prey make a fatal mistake. When you say nothing, you create a vacuum that the other person cannot handle. In that quiet space, your enemy begins to drown in their own fear. They expected a shouting match, but instead, they got a wall of stone. Your silence haunts them because they don't know what you are thinking. They will replay the moment in their head, wondering if they just made a huge mistake. Most men are addicted to reacting, thinking that being loud makes them strong. But real strength is knowing that silence is a louder statement than any word. Your silence tells them that they are beneath your time and your energy. It shows that their opinion has zero value in the world you have built. You are operating on a level that their small minds simply cannot understand. This is psychological warfare in its most effective and simplest form. You do not argue with fools, and you do not explain yourself to losers. You simply remove yourself and let them sit in the mess they created. Next time someone tries to belittle you, try it. Say absolutely nothing. Watch the confusion grow on their face as the power shifts back to you. That is your first weapon, and it is the foundation of being untouchable. The second way to handle disrespect is a lesson in value that most men never learn. You must understand one truth that will change your life forever. Your presence is a privilege. It is not a right that people get just because they know your name or work in your office. Your time, your loyalty, and your energy are the most expensive currencies you own. When someone treats you with a lack of respect, they are essentially stealing that currency. They have proven that they are not worthy of spending another minute in your circle. This is the exact point where most men fail because they are driven by a deep fear of loss. They fear being alone, or they worry about the awkwardness of cutting someone off. They stay in toxic rooms because they would rather be disrespected than be by themselves. Machiavelli taught that it is far better to be feared than to be loved if you cannot be both. In the world of respect, fear means people know there are consequences for their actions. They must know that if they cross the line, the door to your life slams shut and stays shut. Removing access to your life is not a petty move. It is a high-level strategic play. It is you announcing to the universe that your world has a very high standard of entry. Anyone who falls below that standard is removed without a long speech or a second chance. This approach is cold, it is calculated, and it is 100% necessary for your survival. The person who disrespected you was likely testing your boundaries to see what they could get away with. If you let it slide, you are telling them and everyone else that you are a man who can be pushed around. When you are always available and always forgiving, you become worthless in the eyes of others. Scarcity creates value in every market, including the market of human relationships. When your presence is rare and hard to earn, people start to treat you with a different kind of weight. They realize that one wrong move means permanent exile from your world. Do not waste your breath explaining why you are leaving or what they did wrong. Simply vanish like smoke and let them wake up in a world where they no longer have you. Your absence will be a far better teacher than your words could ever hope to be. Let them feel the coldness of a world where your support and energy are gone. Protect your inner circle at all costs and never negotiate with someone who doesn't value you. The third way is perhaps the most satisfying of all. You must elevate yourself beyond their reach. We have all heard the old saying that revenge is a dish best served cold. But the coldest revenge isn't a strike. It is a level of success so high that your enemies become invisible. The greatest response you can ever give to disrespect is not a punch or an argument. It is the act of climbing so high that those who look down on you are forced to look up. Every second you spend arguing with a small-minded person is a second stolen from your future. When you pour your energy into anger, you are draining the fuel you need for your ambition. Machiavelli understood that a wise leader does not waste his soldiers on useless battles. Instead, he uses his resources to build his kingdom and expand his power. You need to become obsessed with your own growth and your own discipline. Use the fire of their disrespect to fuel your late nights and your early mornings. While they are busy talking about you and staying the same, you are busy becoming untouchable. While they are laughing at your dreams, you are silently building an empire they can't even imagine. The beautiful thing about rising to the top is that the noise from below eventually fades away. The opinions of people at a lower altitude simply cannot reach you anymore. They become like ants screaming at a giant who can no longer even hear their names. This isn't about proving them wrong. It is about proving that your vision for yourself was right. You are becoming the man you were meant to be, not because of their help, but in spite of their hate. Use every ounce of their doubt as rocket fuel for your personal transformation. Every workout where you push harder, every book you read, every dollar you save is a move toward power. You are moving toward a truth where you won't need to say a single word. When you reach the top, your success will speak with a voice that sounds like thunder. They will see your name, they will witness your rise, and they will feel the weight of their mistake. They will remember the day they chose to disrespect the wrong man and realize what they lost. Elevation is the ultimate power move because it changes the very reality you live in. takes you out of the mud where the small people fight and puts you in the sky where the winners live. Focus on your mission, build your strength, and let your results do the talking for you. The fourth way to handle those who cross you is a masterclass in patience. There is a powerful urge to strike back the second someone tries to humiliate you. Your blood boils and you want to expose their flaws to the entire world right then and there. You must resist this urge with everything you have because a direct attack is often a mistake. A master strategist knows that his enemy is his own worst enemy if given enough time. You do not need to be the one to pull the trigger on their reputation. They will do it themselves. People who go out of their way to disrespect others are almost always driven by deep insecurity. They have a desperate need to feel superior, and that need makes them loud, messy, and careless. These traits are like a ticking time bomb inside their character that will eventually go off. Your job is not to play the role of the judge or the executioner in their lives. Your job is to be the silent witness who stands back and watches the inevitable collapse. When someone disrespects you, they are handing you a map of their true, ugly character. However, they don't reveal the full map all at once. They do it piece by piece over time. If you step back and give them the illusion that they have won, they will grow even more arrogant. In that arrogance, they will start to burn other bridges and disrespect other people just like they did to you. The world is much smaller than people think, and word of their behavior will start to spread. You don't need to launch a smear campaign or tell everyone how bad this person is. You simply let nature take its course and wait for their own actions to condemn them. This is dark psychology at its most effective because it keeps your hands completely clean. There is also a more active way to use this principle if you are feeling particularly strategic. You can create situations where their true nature is forced to come out in front of important people. By remaining calm and reasonable, you create a sharp contrast with their aggression and pride. People are always watching, even when you think they aren't, and they notice the difference in behavior. When they see you maintaining your dignity while the other person spirals, the verdict is clear. This requires a level of emotional control that most men simply do not possess. It requires you to understand that justice doesn't have to happen this very second to be effective. Exposure that comes from a person's own hand is 100 times more damaging than a rumor. When you point a finger, people might wonder if you are just being petty or jealous. But when their own behavior causes them to fall, there is no defense they can use. Hold your cards close to your chest, stay patient, and let them build their own trap. The fifth way is a lesson in the most powerful force on earth, the power of the narrative. You must realize that reality isn't always what actually happened in a room. Reality is what the majority of people believe happened after the dust has settled. Machiavelli understood that perception is the ultimate battlefield for any man of power. The man who controls the story of an event is the man who truly controls the outcome. When someone disrespects you, they are trying to write a story where they are strong and you are weak. They want the world to see you as someone who can be stepped on without any fear of pushback. If you allow their version of the story to stand, you have lost the fight before it even truly began. But you don't fight this battle with desperate arguments or by begging people to believe you. You use dark psychology to strategically shape how every person in the room perceives the situation. This is not about lying or making up stories. It is about choosing which parts of the truth to highlight. It is about making sure the version of the story that protects your dignity is the one that stays. The first step in controlling the story is maintaining a level of absolute, unshakable calmness. If you get angry or start yelling, you give your enemy the paint they need to make you look crazy. Calmness is a signal to everyone watching that you are the one in control and they are the ones acting out. Second, you must learn to plant seeds of perspective with the right people at the right moments. You don't need to gossip like a child, but you should offer a few well-placed words to the right ears. A small amount of truth shared correctly can shift how an entire group of people sees a conflict. Third, you must let your daily actions serve as the ultimate evidence for your story. While your enemy is busy running their mouth, you should be busy showing up and being excellent. When your actions contradict the lies they are telling, people will naturally start to doubt them. Doubt is like a virus that will eventually dismantle their entire campaign against your name. History is not written by the people who were right. It is written by the people who were the most strategic. You must think like a general who is commanding not just soldiers, but the minds of the public. Every word you choose to say and every silence you choose to keep is a move on a chessboard. Your enemy might have started the fight in the world of gossip, but you will finish it in the world of truth. You will shape the narrative so perfectly that you are remembered as the man of strength and dignity. And your enemy will be remembered as nothing more than a fool who tried to take down a giant. Control the narrative or someone else will control it for you. That is the law of power. Learn the game and play it with a cold heart, or prepare to be played by those who are more cunning. There comes a moment when being quiet is no longer enough to protect your peace. There are times when rising above the situation does not deliver the justice you deserve. Sometimes you must strike back to ensure the disrespect never happens again. But a man of high intelligence never uses his hands or loud, empty threats to win. He strikes at the one thing that truly matters in this world: the enemy's reputation. Machiavelli taught that reputation is the single most important foundation for power. You can lose your money and work hard to make it back in a few years. You can lose your job or your title and find a way to climb the ladder again. But if you lose your reputation, you lose the trust and respect of every person you know. Reputation is the currency that opens doors and builds strong alliances for your future. When someone disrespects you, they are betting their reputation against yours. They believe they can lower your value without paying any price for their behavior. Your mission is to make that bet the most expensive mistake they have ever made. This is not about being a gossip or spreading small, childish rumors in the dark. Talking behind people's backs is a weapon used only by those who are weak. Strategic reputation damage is much more dangerous because it is based on the truth. It is about using contrast to make their flaws visible to everyone who matters. When you behave with total integrity, their lack of honesty becomes very easy to see. When you stay loyal to your team, their disloyalty stands out like a bright light. When you move with class and stay calm, their pettiness is magnified for all to see. You become the mirror that reflects their ugliness back to the rest of the world. The truly Machiavellian mind knows that human beings are social animals. The person who insulted you has friends, co-workers, and people they want to impress. You do not need to attack your enemy directly to win this war of social power. Instead, you build strong relationships with the people who are in their inner circle. You prove your value, your character, and your skills to the people they depend on. Slowly, the people in their life will begin to notice the massive contrast between you. They will start to question why their friend is so bitter while you are so professional. The isolation will begin to set in, and your enemy will feel the world turning cold. They will never find your fingerprints on the scene because you never did anything wrong. You simply moved with precision and let your high character destroy their low character. This is a slow, cold, and calculated way to dismantle everything they think they own. When their name no longer carries weight, they will finally understand the price of their ego. Everything you have learned leads to this final, most powerful state of being. Indifference is not just a strategy. It is the final destination for a powerful man. It is the peak of the mountain where you become truly untouchable and free. The moment you stop needing anything from anyone else, you become dangerous. Think about the real reason why an insult or a lack of respect hurts you so much. It hurts because you still care about what that person thinks of you. It hurts because your sense of self-worth is still tied to the opinions of others. As long as you need people to like you, you will always be a slave to them. You will always be one mean comment away from having your whole day ruined. But what happens when you decide to kill that need for validation forever? What happens when a person's insults hold no more weight than the sound of the wind? You look at them and feel nothing. No anger, no hate, and no need for revenge. Total emptiness toward their existence is the highest form of psychological power. The prince who needs nothing from his enemies cannot be tricked or manipulated. You have cut the strings they once used to control your heart and your mind. Indifference is not a mask you wear or a game you play to look cool. It is a real change where you source all of your value from inside your own soul. You must kill the part of you that craves a good job from people you don't even like. When you reach this state, your energy changes and people can feel the shift instantly. They realize you are no longer playing the same small game they are playing. Your enemy will try to get a reaction, but they will find only a wall of nothing. You look at them like a stranger or a rock on the side of a busy road. In that exact second, they realize they have lost all power to move or hurt you. This is not about hiding your feelings. It is about outgrowing the need for others. Your peace and your power now come from within your own kingdom of the mind. When you master yourself, you have won the only battle that truly matters. You are now complete, you are now a leader, and you are finally free. You now hold the 7 weapons that most men will never have the courage to use. Use them wisely, use them with a cold mind, and use them whenever the moment calls. If this message woke up something inside of you, let me know right now. Go to the comments below and type the words, "I am untouchable." Like this video and subscribe to this channel so you never miss another lesson in power. The weak people will scroll away, but the strong will take action today. Which one are you going to be from this day forward? Remember, respect is never a gift. It is something you must command. Now go out into the world and become untouchable.